Hi guys, welcome back to Overtime Heroics MMA. I'm Martin Hamilton and I'm joined today by Gregor Fell. How you doing, Gregor?
I'm good, yeah. Thanks for having me, mate.
No worries. So, Gregor, you're fresh off your first MMA victory versus Zach Pearson. Can you just kind of sum up how that felt when you won it, BFC?
Oh, I felt very good. A lot of hard work paying off. I think maybe if you watch the video when it comes out, you'll probably see that we were going a bit mad in there. It was quite a big relief.
Because I seen the pictures of you, to be fair, that get put up, and it just looked like the emotion was streaming out.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I've been training with Ian like 3 years. Same Blair Ford, who was in my corner, I've also been training with him for 3 years. And they were in my corner when I lost the first fight, so it meant a lot that they were there.
So when you lost your first fight, did that demotivate you in any way? Or
No, I think it's amateur MMA, isn't it? So you can take wins and losses as they come. I think there was a lot that I did really wrong in the first fight, maybe preparation-wise, warm-up-wise, and then I think I panicked a bit when I got in there, to be honest. So we did a lot of work with that. I've made some big improvements over the last 2 years, so I was happy that I could go out and show that I've made those improvements.
That's quite an interesting thing you said there. Like you said, over like the 2 year period, and that's probably mostly down to like COVID and no shows and that been on. Do you feel that's helped you grow as a martial artist? Because so sorry guys, there'll be a bit of technical difficulties there. You were saying there, the last question I'd asked you there, sorry, Gregor, was if COVID has helped you kind of grow as a martial artist because you had that 2 years to train?
Yeah, so I had a lot of time to myself. So we kitted out my garage with just the essentials, a heavy bag, couple of weights and that. And I put on a little bit of strength. I think that was a big issue of mine. Was I was a really, even for flyweight, I was really light, and I'm still like my stature, I'm very lanky and skinny. It's just always going to be how it is. But I managed to put a little bit of strength. So instead of weighing in for my first fight, I think I weighed in like 55 kilos for a 57 kilo fight. So I've had to cut weight now in this last one. I think that's helped me. Well, obviously it's not preferable to be cutting weight, but I think the fact that I'm a bit stronger, I'm a bit bigger now, that was helpful that I managed to dedicate some more time to that through COVID.
Because how did you feel that whole process of cutting weight? Because that seems to be what people call it the worst part of the journey.
Yeah, it wasn't fun, but it wasn't anything it wasn't awful, to be honest. It was just something that I thought you have to do to get your head down. I have to say though, I'm making out like I wasn't moaning. I'm a big moaner. I'm sure Ian will be watching this and he'll be going, what is he on about? He was moaning every day, which I was, but I got there in the end, and it wasn't awful.
But it's completely understandable to be moaning because you're draining with all the liquids out of your body. So I think I can imagine it wouldn't be very pleasant. So since you've won your first MMA fight, has this motivated you more?
Yeah, of course. I think I've always been someone that's been very motivated, and I've been very dedicated. For the 3 years I've been in, I've been training for the majority of that. It's been 6 days a week, and recently it's been twice a day. So I've always been a hard worker. I think I always will be. I think that'll serve me well.
Yeah, because you mentioned like getting into your fight, you had a bit of a knee injury going on.
Yeah.
Now the fight's done with, and there's nothing to disclose to your opponent. Can you say exactly what that injury was and how you managed to work through it?
Yeah, so I had a bad course of bursitis in my right knee. So I think basically what that is the little sacs of fluid that like lubricate the knee joint popped. So my knee was really inflated, filled with fluid for quite a while. And it was really debilitating. So I couldn't really train at all. I couldn't stand up. And I wasn't really able to walk much. So for 4 weeks prior to the fight, most of my camp was just sitting back doing bench press. That's all I could really manage. But I think 2 weeks out, I managed to get on the assault bikes, which really helped me. Apart from that, I think I had one spar. But saying that, it's not really like a fight camp for me. I think it's the same with most people in amateur MMA. They're not training just for those 4 or 5 weeks before a fight. They're doing it every day for months and months and months. So I'd accumulated a lot of fitness, and I knew how to fight. I knew that when I got in there, it would be okay. So I just needed to hold on for potentially 9 minutes, and thankfully it only lasted one of them. So that could have been bad.
What causes that?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird one because you'd expect it to be. It was the morning that flared up was after I'd been at higher level on a Friday sparring, which was the only one of them that I managed to do. And obviously, you're thinking they're going to be hard rounds, so you're going to get battered and bruised, which obviously does happen when you're sparring. But I didn't take a specific strike to my knee. I didn't fall on it funny or anything like that. I just sort of woke up and I looked down and I was like, Christ, look at that. Absolutely massive.
How important is it as well, though, to have what kind of partnership gyms like higher level, as we spoke about there with Submission Factory? How important that's to you as a young martial artist to get so many different looks and teachings?
It's really, really valuable. It's a really good thing that we've got going. I've only actually been up to higher level like a handful of times. I'm hoping that I could probably get up more. It's really good that Ian having fought under higher level, there's that tie, and then you're going up, and those guys are just a different level, to be honest. They're incredible, and then when you're working with them, you're going to get brought up to a higher level. They've also got a lot of sort of lighter, younger guys. Comparatively with our gym, there's not many people that are sort of my build, but they've got a lot of flyweights. Yeah,
because you made a very interesting point earlier about like not just having fight camps and like essentially your whole life being one big fight camp. I just think that's so interesting to hear because it just it delves into like how martial arts has evolved throughout the years, especially mixed martial arts, especially at amateur level. Like the gap between amateurs and pros now, it doesn't seem that big. But because the amateurs are now training like pros, they're just getting that money.
Yeah. I suppose like when I spar Ian, I think the difference is quite big for me. But yeah, it's a good point. I think everyone's just training as much as they can. You got people in our gym that are 15, 16 that are in every single day and they're keeping on going. So these guys are going to be fantastic in a couple of years.
Aye, you notice that with a lot of the young guys. It's like they're wee sponges. I don't know if that's just because they're at school so much and their brain just absorbs so much information, but it's like they get showed something once and it just clicks.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're going in as an older guy, like I'm 24, and when I go to class, sometimes it takes me 5 or 6 times seeing something for it to click in my brain, whereas they just click on straight away. It's so it's mad.
Young energy.
Aye, that's it. Just wee sponges, isn't it? So if the kind of rumours are to be believed, it looks as if your next fight will be on Almighty Fighting Championship. Is there any truth in that? Is there anything that you can disclose?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's not as if there's a big following that are waiting on me announcing anything, but I do think that'll be the next one, I think it's 22nd of January. Lewis Simpson, who's been doing some management stuff behind the scenes for me, I think he's got good ties with Almighty, and they've expressed some interest in getting me on that card. So hopefully I can get on that one. I've heard nothing but good things about that show. Apparently it's really well run. I've had a couple of guys from our gym that have been on it before, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's, for what I gather and for what I've heard, it's one of the best run shows in the UK. Kind of out with your Cage Warriors.
Yeah.
Like kind of regional show wise, it's apparently like one of the best run in the country. Like for everything, just down to like how they wrap your hands, the way they treat the fighters. It's such a professional setup Ray's got going on there.
Yeah, well, Ian said the exact same thing. They were up there a couple weeks ago. I think we had one of our guys on it, and he said it was fantastic. So, looking forward. We've got actually one of our fighters, Will Pringle. He's fighting on the 20th of November in Almighty. I think that's a Liverpool one. So I'm going to go up there with them, and I can hopefully have a look at how it runs.
Yeah, I'm sure I actually seen that fight getting advertised with Will Pringle.
Yeah.
You mentioned working with Lewis Simpson there, so it just like flows into the next question I was going to ask. As you get involved with fighter path management, how big an impact did they have on you and kind of getting fights?
Massive. Well, getting fights, to be honest, was really quite amazing. I was quite skeptical, not skeptical, but I just wasn't really. It's a hobby for me. It's not like it's nothing. I'm not blowing it out of proportion. It's just I'm an amateur having fun. So the sort of idea of being managed and having all of that, I wasn't really into it. But Will Pringle messaged him. He sort of got involved. He got him on Cage Warriors Academy, I think. So instantly I was like green with envy. So I was like, I was getting it instantly. I was on my phone messaging him like, my name's Gregor Fell. Can you get me on these shows? But within literally 10 hours, he had that British Fighting Championship one made for me, and then a lot of promotion leading up to it, and a lot of good wishes. So I'm very thankful for that. It's had a good impact on me.
That's amazing to hear, and it's always amazing to see guys not just taking interest in professional fighters, but taking that time to invest in amateurs, because it's that way as well. Like, no professional, especially in the modern era, was never not an amateur. So even if the guys don't make it to the highest level, give them the opportunity to at least showcase what they can do and give them that opportunity, which is amazing.
Well, it's really nice of him that he put that amount of energy and like time into promoting. It's just an amateur fight, but it makes you feel valued.
Yeah,
and it's helpful for Ian too if he's doing the matchmaking. Then Ian focusing more on coaching and not messaging promoters, and that is quite helpful.
Yeah, because that's something that I always find quite interesting, that like the coaches take such a big role in the management side of things, and I just feel that must take away a lot of time from and just add an extra stress onto them. Because I think it was James Doolan I was talking to, and he was saying a lot of his time is taken up with messaging promoters, getting back to promoters, people pulling out, and then you scampering about and that, and it just takes that pressure off the coaches.
You can imagine how stressful that would be for them.
And it's all free as well, isn't it, Fighter Path?
Yeah. So it's a really good service. I definitely, not to do too much promo, but I would recommend it if anyone was interested in it. I would do it.
So your gym, I know I said that again. Food Dog has really started to pop this year, but you've mentioned about guys like Will Pringle starting to get matched, and there's been a few other guys on like the Almighty shows. Is this just a testament to the hard work that's been done by you guys during COVID?
Yeah, I think it is. I'm sure every gym will be the same. Everyone's working hard. There's nobody that's going to be taking time off. But I think we're all putting individually, when you couldn't do contact training, I think everyone was still going through and doing as much as they could on their own. So I think every gym's the same. Everyone that's in the sport's going to be working hard. But I think we're definitely working hard.
Yeah, and it's that way now that the proof's in the pudding, and you are starting to get matched on these great shows.
Yeah.
And starting to get the wins together and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, it's a testament to Ian as well, because he puts a lot of, it's coaching, but he does a lot of extra stuff. He lets us in early in the morning when some people have work, so we can get 2 sessions in a day. So it really is a testament to the amount of time that we're putting in.
Yeah, and just kind of the last question of the day, and this is a very broad one, so don't feel too much pressure on this. But what is your individual goals that you have for MMA?
My individual goals, just to keep going, just keep it. As long as I'm enjoying it, I'm going to be competing and I'm going to be having fun, and it's all I'm enjoying at the minute. Not all I'm enjoying in general, but it's what I'm enjoying the most, is what I meant to say there. So I'm happy working hard in the gym. It doesn't feel like it's forced. It feels like something that I want to be doing every day. You wake up and you want to be going to the gym, so it's not something that I'm feeling forced. I'm just enjoying it, and I'll keep going as long as I'm enjoying it. I have to say that there's sometimes with university where there's like December, May, April, there's like specific months that I can't train at all really because of how intense it is. So that sort of takes away from it. That's a bit annoying. But individually, I'd like to keep, just whenever I can, keep training, keep fighting.
What is it you're doing at university?
Law.
Oh, brilliant. Right.
Brilliant, some would say.
I was going to say that must be very intense.
Yeah, it's a bit much, isn't it? Especially when you're training twice a day. There's a lot to do.
Yeah.
So it's very intense. Enjoyable though, but intense.
So do you have any plans to like compete in maybe other aspects of martial arts, like a couple like K1 fights or entering into grappling?
Yeah, potentially. I like, obviously when you're in an MMA gym, there's classes, like there's a Thai class and there's a jiu-jitsu class, like it's all separate. And I do a lot of judo too, Carnegie Judo Club. So I'll be competing, I'm sure I'll be competing in judo soon. I'd like to do the Bucks stuff, the British University Championships with judo. I'd like to throw my hat in the ring for that. I've done one grappling tournament now. I think it was the Scottish Open, and I really enjoyed that. So hopefully, I was planning on doing the one. I think there's one next weekend.
Yeah.
Just gi though, but I couldn't do that because my knee's starting to act up. So that was a shame. But I'll hopefully just be competing as much as I can in whatever disciplines I can.
Yeah, because now everything's opened up. It seems like there's just something on every other week.
Yeah.
To get involved in. So for a young guy like yourself, that must just be amazing.
Yeah, it's just all experience. That's all it is. And getting familiar with the feeling of being under a bit of pressure and having maybe a crowd. It adds a lot of pressure. It adds a certain aspect that you just don't get at the gym. So competing's the only way to sort of feel that process.
Because do you feel as well, like the more you're starting to compete, the less nervous you feel about it? Or
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But Gregor, thanks very much for your time. I know it's Sunday afternoon on Halloween. You might have big plans tonight. You might be in the gym. So is there anyone you want to shout out just before we wrap this up?
I'd like to give a quick shout out to the sort of sponsors of the gym. So Malcolm Jack and Marston Solicitors in Dunfermline, Body Recharge, Massage Therapy, and also the Carnegie Judo Club and all the boys at Food Dog.
No worries. Thanks very much. And
thank you very much for having me, mate. Thank you.
No worries. And no doubt we'll have you on again.
I'd love that.